1,000 welcomes. Welcome to From Broken Worlds, where I try to train through injuries to qualify for the 2027 World Masters Highland Games Championship. My first competition is not too far in the future. It's May 30th. And we'll see what all this work has done. See if I'm able to perform well. Sometimes I'm really happy afterwards. Sometimes I'm kind of upset, but usually it's a mix. I'm happy with some throws and not so happy with other throws. But we'll see. It'll be a little bit of an adventure of how things will turn out. So today is my deadlift and shoulder press day. If you've been following my journey, right now I am employing a version of what's called the Bondarchuk method. Bondarchuk was a legendary trainer, and he had a very particular way of training from the Soviet Union, and ended up training in Kamloops, BC. And I've been able to learn his approach, and so basically nothing changes in my workout. Not the weights don't change, the movements don't change. The only thing I'm doing that is a change is alternating between deadlift and shoulder press, and I'm alternating that with squat and bench press. And the main reason, I just didn't want to lose my squats and my deadlifts or my bench or shoulder press. Like, I wanted to kind of somewhat maintain my ability in all those, even though the amounts are less than what my max is. I'm looking to lift with some power and authority, not just lifting the weight, grinding through it. So trying to be athletic is the key to my lifts. Today I want to talk about, that kind of segues into the concept of what I'm going to call cross-training. And what I mean by that is looking at different training that people in different spheres of athletics engage in, and trying to pull from that things that work for you. It's kind of a lot like MMA. When UFC first started out, you had these martial arts that competed against one another, and the fighters represented their martial art. And it could be everything from sumo to karate to boxing. There's all these different types of martial arts, and you had one fighter representing. But each fighter or each style has its kind of world of training that it would follow. But the project of MMA that ended up coming out of that was to pull what works from all the martial arts around the world, to pull from them what works, including in training as well, but in execution. But to find what works, get rid of the things that don't work, and then almost create a new martial art. Now, it's not really a new martial art, but it's just it's been a ongoing, essentially scientific program to find out what works and what doesn't. And we could do the same in our training, same type of idea. We could look at training from around the world, from different spheres, because they each kind of have grown up in their own silos, in their own ecosystem. And we can pull things out of it that, is help you reach the goals of whatever your goals happen to be. And so I first kind of got aware of this by my first personal trainer. When I at the beginning of my Highland Games career, my trainer, he was very interesting in that he started off in throwing. He had a fairly successful collegiate career, but more importantly to this conversation, he had access to excellent strength and conditioning coaches that taught him a lot. He actually did go up and train with Bondarchuk when he went to Kamloops, and he was did a hammer throw, and so he also knew a little bit of Bondarchuk's methods. But he also did powerlifting. He did Highland Games. He did Olympic weightlifting. He did strongman. He was kind of interesting in that he moved in and out of all these spheres of training and all these sports, and always looked for the best coaches that he could find in those areas. So I was always amazed at how many exercises this guy knew. He was like an encyclopedia of different exercises and movements, and that really got me thinking that there's a whole wide world of training out there that, I grew up with the bodybuilding style training, and that's kind of all I knew, 3 sets of 10 and, that sort of thing. And it really opened me up to the idea that there is so much I can learn from different sports, from different approaches, different techniques, different spheres, however you want to look at that. So I'd encourage all of you to look at different, if you're in a sport or you have a goal that you're looking forward to, look at the best people who train for that and see what they do. The best trainers, see what they do, learn from that, grow from that, learn different approaches within your sphere of training. But look outside too, because sometimes there's gold out there that you can just pick a little this, a little that, and incorporate it into your training. And you could become the best MMA fighter in the world, but or the best MMA trainer in the world, and come up with some things that maybe there's a bit of a hole or a blind spot or something that you're missing, that you look at another modality of training and you're like, hey, that's pretty interesting. So I'd encourage you guys to look at that. I'm doing a hybrid right now between the Bondarchuk method and the French contrast method. I'm doing kind of a form of each. I'm not doing each purely in its own pure form, but doing a kind of a hybrid form of each. And I wouldn't have known that unless I studied what the French contrast or what the Bondarchuk method was. We also kind of have a little bit of a nod to starting strength, because I didn't want to lose practice on deadlifts, squats, shoulder press, and bench press, and chin-ups, which I'm doing right now, which are kind of the centerpieces of starting strength. So I'm kind of combining 3 different modes into one exercise, and my next block, which will be after the season's done, will be even more interesting. I'm doing actually kind of complex. It'll be the most complex training system I've ever done. And so I'll have lots of time to explain to you guys what that will be and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I'm combining like a lot of my interests and a lot of my previous knowledge and experience into my next program. Just like I did with this is a lot more complicated than what the starting strength I was doing before. At least the form of it I was doing before. And next time will be a little different. So yeah, look out there. It's a big world. All right, guys. See ya.